So, hey guys, Chowser here. So yeah, in this final video about Yamato, I've been doing some Yamato vids now doing treasure map, lots to talk about. But yeah, in this final one, I'm going to talk about Yamato on global. I know many are super excited for Yamato, one of the strongest legends on JP now, both the 6-star and the 6 plus. So the question is, when will Yamato arrive? And yeah, I have no idea. It's not easy, this one. But yeah, I made some notes here for myself so I don't overlook anything. But yeah, if we follow the timeline, Yamato would arrive on global in January. The problem is, of course, that before January, something big is happening to global. It's the fact that at the end of the year, most likely for the New Year Sugo Fest, JP and global will be syncing up. I have talked about this a lot in the past. We're not sure how they're going to do this. I'm still assuming that by the end of the year we will not be fully synced. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I'll still keep that possibility open when we talk about possibilities later. But yeah, basically we just have no idea what happens now. Like, we know that we have confirmed the schedule up until November, before the end of November. They haven't said what's happening at the end of November, like what batch. If we follow schedule, it will be the summer batch. I'm inclined to believe that we'll just follow the schedule. It makes sense to me, at least. So yeah, like for the others, that comes between now and then on JP, like, you can handle it in a lot of ways. Like, if we start syncing in 2022 content, you can just do some double mounts in January, February, March, April, and so. But Yamato is of course a Super Sugo Fest exclusive, and we have it pretty well established now that Super Sugos happen 3 times a year. So how do we fit Yamato on global? Like, do they want global to just right away on the schedule for JP's Super Sugo? Or will global get an extra Super Sugo in 2022 that JP doesn't? We just don't know how they're thinking about this. But yeah, one thing to remember that I feel like many are overlooking is the fact that no matter what, we will get the next Super Sugo on JP, which will be New Year, and most likely Yamato will not arrive on global before that. I'd be very surprised. It's not impossible, of course. Bandai decides those stuff. So when I see people saying they're going to save for Yamato, I'm like, you know that there's a other Super coming, like a very big one. Like last year we got Roger and Odin on that Super Sugo, so yeah. I feel like that once we get to December and people realize this, there will be a little bit less talk about Yamato and just hype for the sync and the upcoming big Super Sugo with the sync celebration and everything. I have a few more things I want to talk about first. Technically, Yamato can be slotted in at any time. That's pretty important because it gives Bandai a lot of room to do whatever they want with Yamato on global. It might sound weird, this, but it's just because technically Yamato is not part of the monthly batch that month. Technically, the monthly batch was with Trilucci, where super filler batch, but it is the monthly batch. Yamato came after, didn't even have a point event. Yamato got a special blitz that you can just fit in anytime as well. The TM was indeed Yamato focused, as well as the Kizuna will be probably, but I do want to point out the fact that the treasure maps and Kizunas coming now on JP up until the sync, we will probably never get them on global. For us to get them, we need double months, like 2 treasure maps per month, 2 Kizuna per month, and I feel like it's a lot more likely that they'll just double up other treasure maps and Kizuna. So like in January treasure map, we get 2 treasure map units instead of 1, 2 Kizuna units instead of 1, and so on. And we just do the current JP treasure map / Kizuna. because it will be very weird in January that we do like the Yamato treasure map when JP are doing the treasure map for the New Year's Super Sugo Fests. Like, that makes no sense to me, so I just wanted to point that possibility out. But yeah, let's get into the meat here, like the scenarios I see for Yamato debuting on global. Oops. There we go. Swiped correctly now. Okay, so possible scenarios for Yamato global debut. The first one is Yamato debuts on the New Year Super Sugo Fest together with the new legends from JP. And I must say, I do think this is the most likely. It makes sense in a lot of ways. Timeline-wise, it's very close to Yamato debut as well. Timeline-wise, Yamato debuts like maybe 2 weeks after that, something like that, maybe even less. So super close. And like if Yamato debuts on New Year, like we instantly get a Super Sugo sync between JP and Global, so we got that out of the way. And we know that the next Super Sugo Fest will be in May for the JP Annie. And another thing that might point towards New Year for Yamato is the fact that on Global, we will be behind JP, so we need filler legends anyway, and they've already showed tendencies to maybe skip Super Sugos from time to time, so I can see them like skipping maybe Yamato on JP for New Year. Maybe, I'm just throwing it out there, but then Global can just put in Yamato instead, and people will feel a bit better about Global being 4 months behind on the New Year Super Sugo Fest. But of course, that depends heavily on how this sync will work. And that's related to my next one. Yamato debuts before the sync on a massive Sugo to get content sync with JP. This is basically the idea of Super December. You maybe heard that before. Basically, the idea is that in December, Bandai will go, yeah, screw that. We're going to make sure that when we sync at the end of the year, Global and JP will be caught up to each other. And with the confirmed schedule we get, the only way that happens is if Global gets 4 months of content in December. It sounds ridiculous. I don't think it will happen. But if it happens, putting Yamato on that will at least ensure that a lot of people pull, because otherwise, if it's just 4 months of normal legends, people will just skip. Say for New Year it's the sync, it's going to be big, amazing, we'll be able to pull these legends anyway. But like if Yamato is there on that Sugo, people will be like, oh, Yamato might not be on New Year. I'm getting FOMO for Yamato, I must have Yamato, and so on. So that might be successful. And then people could see the positives of, oh, there's so many new legends debuting, very high rate to get a new legend, stuff like that. As said, I don't think so, but in the end, it's up to Bandai how they want to handle this sync. And that's the only way I see it, that we're synced completely before the end of the year. But as said, I don't think we're going to do that. Moving on. Yamato debuts on schedule in early to mid-January in a separate Super Sugo. This is also very weird to me, but like maybe, like we don't know how Global plans to handle the skipped content. It might be just be that we continue following JP, the delayed JP content like we usually do, and just add on the new JP content. Like, it's not entirely impossible, but I still think that's unlikely, and we'd have both the New Year Super Sugo running and then suddenly a Yamato Super Sugo, and who will pull on Yamato if the New Year Super Sugos are amazing and such. Yeah, it's just weird, I think. Fourth one is Yamato is delayed until the Global Annie and debuts there in a Super Sugo. I actually think this is pretty it's pretty possible. Like, Global Annie will probably not be a big thing moving forward, but this is a pretty good excuse to do like one last big global anniversary hurrah. Like debuting Yamato there, and the JP players don't have to feel like they're missing out on anything. Because in the future, I can't see Global Annie being a big deal since Super Sugos need to be paced to be like valuable, and it's such a perfect pacing between New Year and JPN in May. So Global N is just in a horrible place. Like it is in the middle between New Year and JPN, but it's just so few months difference. So it will feel like we have Super Sugos all the time if that one is a big deal. So I don't think so. But yeah, for this one, I think it might be possible. I'd say it's the most likely together with New Year. The final one, I don't think. I just put it there because I see no reality where we get to JPN in May and Global hasn't got Yamato yet. That's like the last place will get Yamato. It would be very weird if we wait that long, but like we'll definitely have Yamato by JPN. Like I'm very confident in. And yeah, I also think that JPN is like the start of the true sync. I'm very confident that when we get to JPN Global will be basically the same. We've been able to catch up. We'll be able to get the exact same Sugo for JPN and so on. So that's exciting in one way and a bit sad in one way. Like Global has had its charm, but it will feel good in a way to not have to always look over the grass on the other side and compare, even if we might have some difference after all, but maybe that's a topic for another video. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Yamato. Let me know what you guys think, and if you plan to save for Yamato anyway, I'd recommend to just save for the New Year Super Sugo Fest personally, and hope/presume that Yamato is there. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.